So good morning from America. This is a live video voiceover relay of Gnani Deepakbhai's Janma Jayanti celebrations. Satsang. This is on the 16th morning, and he's going to talk about the matchless, unparalleled Gnani Purush Dadashri. As he lays a beautiful garland over Lord Shiva, Shiva representing this symbolic representation of the one who has become the embodiment for the salvation of everyone. And this is the voiceover relay again on November 16th, 2013, morning session in India. Sorry, November 15th, 2013 evening session in India, morning here in USA, as we see the Gnani moving over to place a beautiful garland over the matchless, unparalleled, unprecedented, unequaled, peerless, unrivaled, exceptional, without any equal, Gnani Purush Dadashri, the Akram Vignan-Gnani of our times. This, oh my Gnani, our highest namaskars to you. And a garland for Pujaniruma, the Gnani previous, and also the garland for this divine celestial being Ma Padmavati, who protects everyone on the path of liberation. Moving over to the Pujaniruma, Niruma being the Gnani of Akram Vignan, who preceded Puja Deepakbhai and who continued the process of the direct entry into self-realization through Akram Vignan, Gnan Vedi, after January 2nd of 1988 until February 19th of 2006, until March 19th of 2006, as we give our highest obeisance to Ma Amba, the celestial goddess who ensures the process of the naturalness of our non-self complex, the Prakruti, the form complex, the body complex, as well as the inner complex, the inner machine of mind, intellect, chit and ego, and the process of becoming natural as we do the darshan of thousands of Mahatmas who have gathered in Bharuch, India, Bharuch being a city just north of Mumbai. And as we were told yesterday, we have to look at the packing and also the pure souls. So many pure souls, Vishuddhatma Bhagwans here. And yesterday we had a magnificent session in the first hour of the satsang was exclusively on the five agnas and the summary of the five agnas, of how to really apply the five agnas directly through the words of the one who gives the Gnan Vidi and the five agnas for the current times, namely Atmagnani Puja Deepakbhai Patel, Deepakbhai Desai, and Deepakbhai Desai, otherwise known as simply Deepakbhai, Bhai meaning brother, brother Deepak. So I will let you have a feel for the live atmosphere on the sound, but for the translation voiceover purposes, I will have to cut away the original sound in order to get a feeling for the exact sound, so I do not miss anything for you. The chant you're hearing is Dada Bhagwan Na Asim Jai Jaikar Ho, which really means boundless glory to the Eternal One within all that lives. Dada, and that one is called Dada Bhagwan. Dada Bhagwan is not any physical body, but the eternal, the imperishable one within all. And this whole science is the easy and the direct approach to the realization of the same, that Dada Bhagwan resides within you, the listener, as well as we see our Gnani Purush Deepakbhai. Jai Sachidanand. Jai Sachidanand. I bow to the Absolute Self, Paramatma, with deep devotion and absolute oneness, and I give my highest obeisance to that Lord within you. Jai Sachidanand. Did you do the Samaik yesterday on the Agna of Vyavasthit yesterday? And is the awareness and the bliss increasing? And the load is not increasing, is it? Can you hear? I cannot hear, and everybody says yes, yes. So this is the path of awareness, and we need to become more aware and apply this awareness, and thus become free from rag, dvesh, attachment, abhorrence, and then anger, greed, deceit, and pride. Today we are going to talk about Ajod Gnani, the matchless Gnani, and within the world, the matchless, unparalleled, exceptional Gnani Purush. Dada Bhagwan is the Gnani Purush. There are three. There is the Dada Bhagwan, the Gnani Purush. The one you see is Aim Patel, and the one who is manifest within is Dada Bhagwan, and the one that the world knows is Aim Patel. And then he is the Ajod, is matchless, unprecedented. The Gnani Purush is unprecedented, unparalleled. There are so many Gnanis, but they are knowers of the scriptures. They are called Shastra Gnanis. And now I will take away the sound. There is the matchless Gnani. There is unrivaled, peerless, without any exceptions, without any equal. He was asked, how did you become the Gnani? He says, I did not become the Gnani. If I try to become, then my ego would have come in, but it has happened but naturally. It happened naturally only. Yes, he would say that in the world nothing really appealed to me except the self or the Atma only. He did not really was not scornful towards anything. It was not a question of any dislike towards anything, but he was neither liking anything nor disliking anything, but he was really searching for the soul, the S capital self, the Atma. And then having known that, and he was searching for that ever since from childhood, but he was actually searching for that for countless previous lives. What is soul? What must be soul? What is God? How is this world running? He was searching for this. He would serve saints when he was a little boy, but so the saints in the town would say, oh boy, oh little boy, go, God will take you to moksha. But he says, if I go to moksha, wherever he is, then God, I would be under God, would I not? So I did not want even God as my superior. And at the age of 13, he really he loved independence. Even at the age of 13, he did not want anyone to be a superior or even an inferior to him. He just simply wanted to become absolutely independent. And he was a deep thinker, and his revolutions were constantly going on. How can I get liberated? And what is bondage? What causes bondage? And then ultimately he realized that no other human beings or other circumstances are the causes of bondage, but my own mistakes is the cause for my bondage. And this is what he discovered in totality. So he was searching for this from the very beginning in and then at the age of 16 he got married, and then he went through school, but the age of 22 he also had children, but at the age of 22 that he got hold of the book of previous Gnani Srimad Rajchandra, the previous Gnani 1897 to 1901, and then he read the Vachanamrut of Sahajanand Swami of the Swaminarayan faith. And he took a quick look at all the various scriptures of the world, and he had such an amazing energy gift within him to come to the ultimate extract of each of the scriptures. He would look at it, and he says, I could immediately can get to the bottom of what the scriptures were trying to say. But his search continued, and in that search, from age 22 onwards, finally, and he was able to think about everything he would think. And if an old woman in India, if somebody is on the deathbed, they talk that the god of death is going to come, and he is painted as an ugly man sitting on an ox coming to get you. So then he would think about death, and then then he would think about money, and how does person get money in life, on what basis does money come, and then he continued, and finally he realized that it is not a Jamraj. Jamraj means Yamaraj, the god of death, but in fact everything is on a precise clockwork accuracy. Everything that is happening is part of an absolute total discipline of nature. And this is, I used to be like, I was an ignorant person like you only before enlightenment, before the awakening in 1958, but I was constantly searching. For 20 years I have given a serious thought about what is real love for 20 years, and what is the meaning of love. And then it took 20 years to really give so he was able to really come to the precise and the exact meaning of any word in scripture. So the real meaning of the word, and then the underlying meaning, the inner meaning of the word, and then the final absolute meaning of the word with reference to liberation. So Shabdarth, Bhavarth and Paramarth of a word he was able to get. The people will say, you must have done some spiritual practices. No, I did not do any kind of spiritual quests. I was only searching for the self only, Atma only, the eternal principle only, and it was not through any books. Whatever came in front of him, he would read. He would not do a methodical study of the books only. He liked many talks about the Vaishnav religion of Lord Krishna, and he also liked many points of the Jain religion of Lord Mahavir. But it did not give him the experience of the soul, and so his thinking continued, and then he came to the ultimate root of on what basis the world has arisen, how is karma charged, and how is karma discharged, and how can one become free. Ultimately he came to in 1958, when naturally the knowledge exploded within him, the knowledge happened within him, Gnan, G-N-A-N happened within him. Then he got the total bliss of the entire of the fully enlightened Lord within him, and he experienced the self, the Atma, completely, and then remained in Nirantar, continuous, constant Samadhi, absolutely unaffected state, without any effect from the mind, speech or body through the mental, physical or externally induced difficulties. And the Gnan was so magnificent and powerful that it had the energy to do the salvation of the entire world, and he was able to do so within 2 hours only, and also let others gain that knowledge in 2 hours only. But he also says, for you it is Akram, the direct instant path, but it arose within me through the step-by-step Kramic path, through the efforts of inquiry, and through the purification, the ego-related steps of purification of the ego. He was, Dadashri says, I had gone from Songad to Viara, and I had to go to Vadodara, and I had to go to Surat, and so I was doing Chovihar, so I would eat before sunset, and so the person who was also sitting next to me, he in the right in the middle of the entire chaotic atmosphere of the Surat railway station, even he had a tremendous inner transportation, because he was in my service. To attain this in this era of the time cycle of Kali Yuga, characterized by absolute lack of unity, total lack of unity in mind, speech, and body, in the dress of a householder, and what kind of a state, the state of the absolutely enlightened one arose within him, such so that he would remain in Swaramanta only, in the play of the S capital self only, and in the result of the S capital self only, without any evidence of the non-self, that I am this body complex, or I am a part of this body complex, and that is called the state of the Gnani Purush. Yes, there was some deficiency of 4 degrees only, but the deficiency in the 4 degree was only with reference to the absolute knowledge only. There was slight deficiency in the subtlest and the subtler knowledge only says, and this the lack of the 4 degrees, so that the manifestation at 356 degrees stopped because of his desire for Jagat Kalyan, or salvation of the others. That is why he remained behind. Otherwise, he would have gone on ahead to absolute enlightenment, and would not have remained around even to tell anything to anybody. Everybody is clapping, and this is this. Srimad Rajchandra is also a Gnani who was there between 1867 through 1901. But he was in Morbi in Gujarat, and now this Gnani manifests in Surat, again in Gujarat. Such matchless Gnani, never previously and never in future, is matchless. Never, na bhuto na bhavishyati, never in the past, never in the future, and can remain in the as the S capital self only continuously. And Gnani Purush means he is knowledge only, is the state of the knowledge only. He is the observatory of the world. He is the observatory of the world. He is knower of the spiritual science as well as knower of the worldly interacting science called Vyavahar Vignan. So, and it as if the whole curtain has been lifted up from his soul, so he can see it as it is, and it is totally without any contradictions. And then he is able to see it, see no contradictions in the words of the original lords, Lord Mahavir or Lord Krishna, and he is able to. And people would ask, how are you able to answer this without any contradictions? And even before I finish my question, your answers are there. Then he would reply that I see it in absolute knowledge, and then I give the answers. I am not giving it through the medium of the intellect. And so this was his answer. I see it and say it. And so, but with this kind of unparalleled explanations, he says, I failed in absolute enlightenment, and therefore I'm here for your teachings. Yes, because the Atmagnan, or the knowledge of the self, is very limited in the books and the scriptures only. But there is much more in the heart and within a Gnani. Yet the knowledge of the self is attainable through the grace of the Gnani Purush. And so, in this kind of eras, there are saints and highly elevated souls, and Gnani Bhagwants. But however, the Gnani Purush is a very, very rare thing. Gnani Purush, yes, if he had attained the enlightenment, then he would have become Vitarag, absolutely enlightened. And therefore he was the meddlesome Vitarag. He says, come here, come to me, I will give you Gnan. That is his meddle, interference. He was the interfering Vitarag. He was the Vitarag with interference, because his goal was, his work was done, but he wanted to take us all to liberation. He will tell us about adharma, irreligion, lack of religion, lack of that which helps the self and others, towards religion, that which helps the small SCLF and others in the relative. Saints, yes, saints are there, and the saints, everybody puts all of them in the same categories. Dada Sant Purush is the one. So the saint is separate from the Sat Purush, and the Sat Purush is separate from Gnani Purush. There are three levels and categories of these things. Who come under the Saint Purush? Saint is, he makes you go away from that which is hurtful and move towards the helpful. His chit is improved a little bit. He is not in money or sex at all, and he is involved in helping others only. So, and he moves from town to town and amongst people to help others move away from the negative to the positive. He does not have any desire to start any kind of a life, worldly life, and he would bless everyone who he meets. And he increases the faith of people in God, but he has not realized God yet. He has not realized the S capital self, God meaning the Atma within only. Sat Purush is through the Gnan and through the grace of the Gnani Purush, when we attain the SAT, the eternal element, that is called as Sat Purush, SAT. You have attained the eternal, and the Mahatmas can be categorized as Sat Purush. In Akram, yes. Dadashri says, I must have done a lot of spiritual inquiries and must have had gurus in the previous life, but in this life, Dadashri says, I never had a guru, a spiritual master. But it is also the grace of all of these previous gurus that he had in a previous life that he attained this knowledge in this life. And then the Gnani Purush is the one for whom he does not need to read any scriptures, he does not need to do anything, he does not have any desire for money or sex, he does not have any desire for disciples or fame. He just constantly in the play and the beauty of the S capital self only, Atma Ramanta, of the self as S capital. Now, when this happened to him in 1958, he remained very quiet, he kept it secret and he did not know. No. And so his nephew, his distant nephew, Chandrakant, asked him, whatever you say is very beautiful, Dada, something has happened, so please give me the Gnan. So Chandrakant Bhai was the first one who received the Akram Gnan Vidhi through Dadashri. So, he did not change his dress. He was wearing whatever he was wearing, continued to remain with him, and there was no change in his outer countenance, outer dress, or outer habits, or he did not change. He did not wear yellow clothes or nothing. He continued to he continued to remain in the same clothes and in the same worldly interaction as a contractor, as a married man. He continued to interact with the world, and he would meet a lot of people, all kinds of negative and difficult people in life, but even amidst all of them, he remained separate through his Vitaragta, the absolutely detached state without any abhorrence and attachment. And with Vitaragta, he interacted with all of them, and by remaining Vitarag, he was able to share this Vitaragata with the world also. Even despite being very active contract sales tax and income tax as a contractor, he continued to interact as a Gnani Purush. A.M. Patel did his work. He was the Gnani Purush, and after awakening, as the self in 1958, he did not have any separation with any living being in on this earth. He had no awareness that this is a man or a woman, or this is a boy or a girl, or a rich man or a poor man, or an old man or a young man. He was constantly in oneness with the pure soul of the beings in this world. He says, and for a long time, for many previous count lives, he had the bhavna that why not women? Why should women be left behind? Why should women not attain moksha too? So why should the married people not attain more moksha? And I wanted to give Vyavasthit, the scientific circumstantial evidence knowledge to the world, and so for the countless previous lives he was looking for this. So in this life he gave these three knowledge to the world, and so then he gave this Niruma, being a lady, became a Purna Gnani, a complete Gnani in this very lifetime, and was able to liberate thousands. And so, and he gave the magnificent knowledge of Vyavasthit to the world, so that even as you live in the world, you will not have a single worry. You'll have a civil. He says, I want to change the wrong facets of the world, the wrong understanding of the world, and all the suffering of pain of the world due to all the wrong things that the world is doing. I want to change the world. And this was his bhavana of bhavo bhav, life after life. And the law of nature is that if you stick to a goal and a dhyaya of Jagat Kalyan, and if you're sincere to it, it will definitely come to an effect, a result. And yes, and on the basis of the unfolding of the merit karma of hundreds of thousands of human beings, this science manifests within A.M. Patel in 1958 as the Akram Vignan. And so as a result, the person who receives it experiences moksha right here and now in the midst of daily hustle and bustle of life. And this is a magnificent, therefore, bhavana of the Gnani for countless previous lives, and that verily was his compassion, karuna, and that was his vitaragta, and that was his bhavana of Jagat Kalyan, the intense, unending, continuous desire for salvation of the other. Yes, if you have a raw stoat, if the Gnani, if a diamond has got 100,000 facets, you cannot really describe it, can you? The Gnani Purush says, nobody has understood me completely. So, and if he really understands me, he will become like me, says Dadashri. But so when we have a diamond, we only talk about this facet of the diamond, that is Dadashri, the Gnani Purush, or this facet of the diamond, that is Dadashri, the Gnani Purush. But this is just, we are describing only one facet of this magnificent diamond, which is unequaled, unrivaled, matchless, and without any precedent, without any prior happening like this. So such a magnificence, neither in the past, never in the future, such a one is likely to arise. And he says, I'm smaller than a child, I'm lagutam, I'm very, very humble, I'm abuddha, I do not have the slightest trace of intellect within me. All Gnanis say, yeah, I am more bright than the other one, I know more than him, but the other says, because we live our life on the basis of our intellect, but everybody is trying to improve their intellect, and Dadashri says, my intellect is zero, because it is only when the ego goes away that the intellect, which is the reflected light of the pure soul, then shines directly, and that is the state of the Gnani Purush, where the light of the self is shining fully within. And so in the real and within, inside, I am Gurutam, I am higher than the highest, and in the relative interaction, I am lower than the lowest, and I am one with all of you. I am the love incarnate, I am the embodiment of love, only L capital. I am absolutely independent, I am absolutely desireless, without any desires, nirichak. All of these magnificent qualities can be applied to the Gnani Purush. Even then, yes, the Gnani Purush said, even then it is difficult for human beings to recognize the Gnani Purush, because they do not realize, because he becomes famous all over, yet in his own village people say, what, him? He's just Ambalal Patel. So this is slowly people get to recognize the true beauty within him, and through their own experiences through him, and then they rise. And then he says, we do not go into propaganda. He says, we let the natural fragrance shine through. He would, in 1980, in Ahmedabad Jamna Jayanti, he says, now I'm opening up to Skype. He became enlightened in 1958, but after 22 years, he made himself completely open in Ahmedabad. That is 1980. Until then, he was moving about very quietly. If somebody comes and meets me, I will give him the beautiful science. but otherwise, and it was his desire and the unflinching inner bhavna, the intent, that whoever meets me in this life should attain something in life, and he should attain some pleasure through me, some peace through me, some true beauty through me. And so I should attain that by which there will be no further pain in life at all. So all pains will go. As we sing the praise of such a matchless, peerless, and unrivaled Gnani, we will have listened. Yes, there are 4 or 5 sections of Gnani Purush Dadashri. Is the new book on Dadashri. This is now this new book in Gujarati is being in the works right now, being compiled. Yes, in his own words, as a child, as a young man, as a married man, as a businessman, as a gnani, as a friend, as a colleague, as a gnani, as an Akram Vignani, all of these levels. So you'll have 4 or 5 books of Gnani Purush Dadashri are coming out for the world now. Deepakbhai is working on it. As we read the Dadavani, the ones his speech is Syadvad, Vitrag and Anekant. Syadvad means that it is such that it will, even he is speaking, not a single person will feel hurt in any way to the slightest extent. Vitrag means it lifts it up. With this, without the Vitragvani, the speech that is absolutely, of it there is absolutely no honor. Without the world will not attain liberation. You see, he has his speech is accomplished in the entire aspect of brahmacharya, how to become absolutely perfect and free from sexual impulses. And so, and he has shared through his speech the exact and the precise path and the way how he became free and how others can become free through this. And so Dadashri says that in the current era of the science cycle, Gujarati will be the premier language, and Gujarati will be the language of the new scriptures. And we can see that the new scriptures of this liberation, the easy way, we have 14 Aptavanis that have come. The entire Vitarag Vignan is already out in 14 Aptavanis, but then there are so many other side books, other additional books that are coming out, specific books that help specific topics. The Gnani Purush is what he must have seen, known and experienced, not only in this life but in so many countless previous lives, and having experienced it and seen and known it, he is giving that the stock of experience through to the world, and it is coming out through the nimitz only. He says that the speech at the level of 356 degrees will also manifest. So the nimitz have to come in front of me, he says. So such a Gnani of this kind, it is impossible for such a Gnani to arise in this terrible Kali Yuga, and yet to have an akashayi, avishayi, without any sexuality and without any kashayi, anger, pride, deceit and greed. The presence of such a human being to arise amidst such a human being is a miracle of miracle, a wonder of wonders of all. He says there is no end to the beautiful qualities of the Gnani, but the more we read it, or we will experience his absolutely out of this world state, alaukikta. This is no ordinary human being. This is a superhuman being who is out of this world. Deepakbhai says, I have the experience of Dada Vani for the past 42 years. Wow, what a magnificent Dada. What magnificent words. What beauty in his words. What ultimate beauty. Everybody is clapping now. So come, let us now take the questions now. Let us take the questions. We just gone through 1 hour of the description of the Gnani Purush. By the way, the Aptavani 1 editorial of Aptavani 1 by Niruma has a lot of these talks, a lot of this that they in print in English available to you in the editorial of Puja Niruma. So now let us now go. The first question is being asked. And so 2 or 3 more are being announced. Jai Sachidanand Deepakbhai. The love of the Gnani Purush is Shuddha Prem, is pure love. that stream of love will stop the fire of the entire world, of the pain of yes. What is it like? She says, my first oneness is with Mahatmas, and then it is with the human beings of the world, and the third oneness is with every living being of this universe. And this, it is through his love and his compassion only. So wherever he looked, wherever his eyes went, that the other person will feel this pure love, and he is the embodiment of L capital love, pure love. You see, he is this, people, we call, that is not, when you love your wife or you love your son or daughter, that is called attraction love. Attraction and repulsion love. It is not true love only. That which does not increase or decrease is the true love, and that is the love of the Gnani. Whether you put a lot of garlands over him and give him the tremendous respect and treat him with all kinds of stuff, he will not be moved, nor will he be upset or affected if you mistreat him or abuse him. So that is such a love will do the salvation of the world. Only Gnani Purush has got infinite kinds of Gnan Kada, infinite kinds of Pragna techniques, and Anant. What are these Gnan techniques and Pragna techniques? And all of these keys and techniques that you get in satsang, in his speech, is what we are reviving and opening up and revealing within these satsangs, are we not? So this is which give the solutions in worldly interactions, as well as keep us aware in the separation from file 1, and solve all the puzzles to the minutest detail, solve them all. This is the magnificent keys that is called the Gnan Kada, or the Bodh Kada, or the Intellect Kada, or the Bodh. It is Kada means the art, and the art of the application of this science of liberation. There are 10,000 people sitting here, but one answer given. When one answer is given, everyone else feels as if my answer is coming, my answer is there. Everybody feels as if the Gnani is speaking only for me only. No, it is not. Everybody feels it is my answer only. It is my religion only. It is perfectly fits. It is for all age groups, whether you are educated or illiterate, whether you are a professor or a doctor or a lawyer. Everyone will accept it thoroughly, completely, and without any reservations or without any controversy. Everybody at a time, everybody understands this thing, and this is the magnificent Gnan Kada of Gnani Purush Dadashri, and this is the wonder, and this is. And Mahatmas are having magnificent results, and they are having tremendous increase in. So how is it for the Gnani? What kind of love does the Gnani have for Mahatmas? For Mahatmas was everything for Dada. Yes. Even if he has been told not to give darshan, Dada will say, call him, please. He did not want to hurt Dada. Dada says, if one Mahatma is hurting another Mahatma, Dada would be hurting from inside. So this is the compassion. Dada loved Mahatmas. To him, the most premier love was for his Mahatmas. So now the next question is, it looks to me like you see, intellect cannot understand the Gnani. The Gnani has to be understood through experience and the heart, through the heart. When I say, there is a proverb that the son always supersedes the father, but no, don't say that. I am not superior. She is trying to say, Deepakbhai, you are superior to Gnani Purush Dadashri. No. Put a comma. You still have the one you are understanding, you are not. That is very difficult, So let us do not try to bring comparison between Deepakbhai and Gnani Purush Dadashri. I do not like it at all. Deepakbhai says, I do not like it. Deepakbhai, you do not like this. You are so good. You are speaking better than Dada, Deepakbhai. We are talking like little children. We are playing with marbles only, like a child. You see, with the million facet diamond that can never be compared with anything. That is Gnani Purush Dadashri. Do not compare. So you will be in fault of Deepakbhai and you will be in fault of the Gnani Purush Dadashri too. So understand and move forward. Understand and move forward. Do not compare. When I see Dada, Niruma and Deepakbhai, I feel like I feel that they get it much better and easily through you. No, why don't you get your work done? Well, get your work done. That is all. But don't enter into comparison, because automatically that will be the road of the intellect, because the intellect will block your progress in liberation. You do not want your intellect to come into it. You do not want the intellect at all. Just stick with the work. What is your work? Your work is liberation. So hang on to the sense of the liberation only. Come on, let's go. Next one. I have sent you 2 questions. Which one? Okay, right. I have got both. Oh, I'm very fortunate that you're going to answer both my questions. What is Param Vinay? Param Vinay means Param Vinay, absolute humility, means that not a single word needs to be spoken. That is the words of Dadashri. Dadashri says, I will give answers. I will give answers correctly to all the questions, but all the questions have to be relatively valid. In other words, absolutely topsy-turvy and wrong question that does not fit, obviously will not be answered. Param Vinay means absolute humility, means that which gives the resolution. What is the real question? When you leave home and when you come to an intersection and you want to go to the airport, but you are in a intersection, 4-way intersection, you don't know which way to go, right? So now the question, Vikalpi Prashna, the question in advance, you are not even at the intersection, and when you are asking the question, that is the wrong. But when you are really confused inside at the intersection and then you ask the question, then it is the correct question. It says, the one who is the most fortunate will get to fight with the Gnani, and the Gnani will use the words, you stupid, you oaf, you ox. Dada would use all kinds of very difficult words about you gun chakkar, mere chakkar, you. So Deepakbhai, why are you not using such strong words against us? You are so gentle. No. I use a different kind of stick. So I don't use the heavy sticks that Dada used to use. The whole point is that Dada was such that even when Muwajin Kavis, it's a Dada, it's a he is singing 2 lines of Kavi Pad. In other words, those who receive the curses of the Gnani gets all his sins burnt. And Muwa means you dying one, and you dying one, Muwa, hey you Muwa, you're dying, wake up, you dying one, Muwa. So now and you are already, you yourself are using strong words for Uwe. You're talking internally within Uwe. So then why do I need to? You yourself are scolding Katya, then why do I need to scold you, says Deepakbhai. Next one. Alright, so we just lost the signal here. We just lost the signal, my friends. And this is the Q&A. I'm still trying to get the signal. Where's the time now is 9:43 in the morning, United States time, Eastern Standard Time. We've lost the signal of the satsang that is going on about Gnani Purush Dadashri. Let's see what's happening again. And I keep getting when I try to okay, so okay, a little different, so maybe it will come this time. No. It's streaming only, but for some reason we are having difficulty here. Keeps on streaming. So on multiple iPads the signal is not there. Do you have signal in Germany? Please, if you do, please let me know by typing on the Ustream. But right now there is no signal. It just says the operation could not be completed. So we've just had, to summarize, a magnificent, very fast introduction of the matchless, unparalleled, unprecedented, ajored is the Gujarati word, unequaled, peerless, unrivaled, exceptional human being called the Gnani Purush. Such a one, never in the past, never in the future, the one and the only one only, who has given the unique and the magnificent easy access to the S capital, the real eternal self within all, without any efforts whatsoever, without changing anything in the external life through the mind, speech, or body, and easily attaining that experience is possible because of the efforts and the sadhanas, the spiritual efforts and the quest and the inquiry of the one who wanted to accomplish this for human beings of this world the easy way, including those who are living their daily life, the worldly life, and uh, who have to attend to their daily business too, not the ones who take it up as an exclusive practice to find who am I. And this is possible now for thousands of human beings. Now let's say different signal. Let's hope we are getting no. So we have Deepakbhai and his 5 agnas. He's telling everyone just remain in the agnas. And so Now that the external has stopped, we look at the internal and review where we missed the 5 agnas. While we wait for the signal, and become the seers of what is happening in the mind, what is happening in the intellect, what is happening in the chit, and what is happening in the ego. At multiple levels, including on my cell phone through cellular network, I see that attempts are being made to go live, and it may be possible, but so far all we see is just a turning circle only of ongoing live streaming efforts only. So we are grateful. Of course, there is this questions about the Gnani Purush, and the second half there will be a break coming on pretty soon. So there may be in a break time now too. So we are not missing much except the break. And this will be followed by questions. So if you need to take a little break, please go on ahead. I will keep this live program going on, and will not cut it off so that you can come back to it. As mentioned before, for those of you who joined in late, this topic, the matchless, unprecedented Gnani Purush of this world, of this current world, is the topic, and the entire 25-page introduction by Pujya Niruma as a preface in the first Aptavani 1 is simply magnificent, and even the account in the original Hindi Aptavani called Gnani Purush Ki Pehchan, the introduction of the Gnani Purush is very beautiful, and this is also available on the Dadashri website under the word Nirgranth, 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 nirgranth.html, dadashri.org/nirgranth.html. This entire introduction has been summarized in precise words of Pujya Niruma in the English translation. So the web translation is available of these words, but it is so beautiful to hear a Gnani who is currently liberating through the same, a Gnani who has received this knowledge, like you and I have received this knowledge, describe the Gnani Purush as comparing him to a diamond with 1,000,000 facets. Most diamonds have limited facets, but a diamond with 1,000,000 facets, how can you ever describe all the beauty of such a diamond? And this is what the words that our current Gnani Pujya Deepakbhai used for our most beloved and the most revered Gnani Purush of Akram Vignan-Gnani Purush Dadashri. And so I will try again here and see if we have any luck, and we go into see if the evidences are in place for, let's see, no, alright, so it is streaming. Maybe should I touch the arrow? Let's touch the arrow, and it says no, could not be uploaded, disconnected from connecting, and it gets disconnected and connecting. So there seems to be a fundamental link problem at the internet level with the live stream, that this live relay is being mediated to all parts of the world through the internet. The live stream is the program called livestream.com, and Same old difficulties there for us. I will wait for 5 more minutes to see if we have could not be connected, it says. Uh, no sound, no video. This book in Hindi called Gnani Purush Ki Pehchan is a very magnificent book which has the best description of the Gnani Purush, and it involves easily uh, uh, 33 pages, and this was written by Pujya Niruma, especially in Hindi, and this is available as an audio book in my voice on the Dadashri website, Gnani Purush Ki Pehchan, under dadashri.org/audiobooks.html. You will find the introduction of this. This introduction is so magnificent, it will make the hair on your body stand up. This is how beautiful in this gorgeous direct live Saraswati of Pujaniruma is. So this introduction is something that Pujya Deepakbhai pointed out is also incorporated somewhere in the editorial in Aptavani 1 in English, but I haven't compared the two versions, the Hindi version as well as the English version. This okay, so I am going to now at least save this program and then start another one, so that this people will not have to continue, and this one will not occupy unnecessary space on our further sharing in English. So letting everyone know that I am going to save this program, and then if once it comes on, we will start again. So we do not have just blank space going on unnecessarily in the current magnificent recording that we've had so far. Jai Sachidanand Vishuddhatma Bhagwan, everyone. Highest namaskars to all the dear Mahatmas on the other side of the Atlantic Ocean, as well as on this side of the Atlantic, who are listening in English.